Let's get specific about who actually does American foreign policy. The institutional architecture matters because foreign policy is too complex for any single person or agency to manage, and the interaction among institutions shapes outcomes. The president is the central actor. As discussed in Chapter 9, the president serves as commander in chief of the armed forces, chief diplomat, and the country's principal representative on the world stage. The president negotiates treaties, which require ratification by two-thirds of the Senate, concludes executive agreements, which don't require Senate ratification and can be revoked by a subsequent president, receives foreign ambassadors, giving the president the practical power to recognize or not recognize foreign governments, and exercises broad authority in military and intelligence operations under Commander-in-Chief powers in the 2001 AUMF. The National Security Council, established by the National Security Act of 1947, is the President's principal forum for considering national security and foreign policy issues. Its statutory members are the President, Vice Presidents, Secretary of State, and Secretary of Defense. The National Security Advisor coordinates NSC deliberations and serves as the President's primary foreign policy staff officer. Here's an important point. The structure and influence of the NSC varies significantly across administrations. Some presidents use it as the central decision-making forum. Others prefer informal processes or rely more heavily on bilateral consultation with individual cabinet members. The Department of State is the lead agency for American diplomacy, maintaining embassies and consulates in nearly every country in the world, negotiating international agreements, coordinating foreign assistance programs, and providing the diplomatic channel through which the United States communicates with other governments. The Secretary of State is the President's principal foreign policy cabinet member and the country's chief diplomat. The Department of Defense is the federal government's largest agency, with a budget exceeding $800 billion annually and approximately 3 million active duty and reserve service members and civilian employees. The Joint Chiefs of Staff, the service chiefs of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force, and National Guard Bureau advise the Secretary of Defense and the President on military matters. The intelligence community comprises 17 agencies, including the CIA, NSA, DIA, and FBI, gathering and analyzing intelligence about foreign threats and opportunities. And the Department of the Treasury administers economic sanctions, which have become an increasingly important foreign policy tool over the last 20 years. Sanctions let the U.S. apply enormous economic pressure on adversaries, Iran, Russia, North Korea, without directly using military force. So the architecture is genuinely complex. Diplomacy, defense, intelligence, and economic statecraft all run through different institutions with different cultures and different views. The art of foreign policy is coordinating across this system to produce coherent strategy, and different administrations do that with very different degrees of success.